So one thing I'm wondering about as we're talking about this is if I'm a B2B company and I'm like, yeah, we should test this YouTube ads thing. This sounds
Yeah.
great. Um, how do they develop the creative? Is that something like if before they work with you, do
Yeah.
they need to already have the creative assets? And are we doing like A/B testing, lots of versions of this? How do I know that I'm ready to like start going?
Yeah. Well, before I answer that question, something else came up with a good thing people should know is that it takes a few months to know if you're on the right path. Usually we say we'll know in about 3 months whether we're on the right path or not. Because the first month is research. So what I would do if I was working with someone is I say, listen, I want to know what types of terms people type into Google. And I also want to know when they're in the right phase. And I also want to know what are the first 10 questions that are asked by any person. Okay. First 10 questions on the first 10 call. Again, these may be naive or dumb questions, but they're not dumb people. They're
Yeah,
just uninformed, right?
yeah,
So the salespeople know what those 10 questions are. And sometimes the search results on your website or other terms you're winning for Google Ads will tell you that. So we want to know what those first 10 questions are because, like you said, A B testing, the most important thing of any YouTube ad is they call it the hook. It's the first 5 to 15 seconds because people want to. The first thing any YouTube viewer does when they see a YouTube video or a YouTube ad, any of them, is we want to leave. We're just very suspicious when we come in,
yeah.
and we want to know is that what was promised or is it relevant for me? Right? Promised either with a image and a thumbnail and a title, or what's being promised in the video or ad itself. So our first thing we want to do is leave. So our job is to get them to not leave, or actually sometimes in a YouTube ad, our job is to get them to leave immediately because we don't pay until 30 seconds transpires. And we want the non-targeted people to leave as soon as possible so we don't have to pay for them. And we don't want to waste people's time, right? I mean, you just don't want to be a jerk. So you keep people's respect. And so when you find out those first 10 questions, so let me use the Salesforce app example again. Um, are you looking for an app that helps you do CRM? Are you helping, SEO? Um, you know, drill information on your clients. Okay. Let's say those are the things that you want to do on the Salesforce platform. Okay. Well, that's my first sentence of the ad.
And if I don't want those things, I'm clicking away,
Yes. Yeah. I
saving
mean,
money.
yeah, it actually, each of those sentences says two things, right? It says, if you want this, you're in the right place. And if you don't want this, please leave. And that is confusing to some people because they're like, well, I'm good for everyone. I want to help everyone. Anyone could possibly, it's not true. It's just not true. And it's a waste of your time and money to go after everyone. That's why we turn the sort of mass marketing approach on its head. And that's why most people click off of YouTube ads, is because it's not for them, because people have no idea how to target. But targeting on YouTube is not that hard. What you see a lot in automotive ads or other things like that is um, you see people just saying, well, at some point I might want a Chrysler. So we're just going to tell you about it for 5 years. And then every 5 years, when you look for a new car, you'll remember that we exist. But I don't think that's what I'm approach. I'm taking a much more narrow approach. So that hook, that first 5 to 15 seconds, is that question, and it's narrowly targeted to someone who is in the right mindset to place a call for B2B, right? So, but The meat of the ad is actually the same ad. You can test and tweak things. Generally, we recommend sort of the three big tips. The three big tips that everyone who is going to be a customer in your type of business should know. The first thing you want to know is how the Salesforce App Store works. Second thing you want to know is, how much does it cost? The third thing you want to know is how long does it take to get a good ranking in the Salesforce App Store? And, we, the Salesforce App Company, we do this thing. So you should give us a call. Here's a link.
Yeah.
Or here's a download to get on our email list. But we're on while you're on our email list, we're going to keep pitching you for calls.
Right.